Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Find a quiet corner, pour yourself some tea, and give me the next few minutes. Because today's story is equal parts breakup, confession, emerging romance. And a reminder that even the most charismatic public figures struggle with the same crossroads the rest of us face. Our focus is popular actor Barış Baktaş and the candid statement he posted 3 nights ago, one that ended a long-running love story with Gülüm Baktaş and, at the same time, opened the door to something new and still only half visible. The clip you may have seen on social media was barely a minute long, but behind those 60 seconds lies a timeline of touring sets, private compromises, and a wave of speculation now rolling across entertainment feeds in 3 continents. By the end of this video, you will understand why Barış chose to speak, how the industry is reading the subtext, and what it all means for the projects he and Gülüm were once expected to launch together. First, some background for viewers who joined the fandom more recently. Barış met Gülüm almost 6 years ago at a rehearsal space in Kadıköy that smelled of fresh paint and burnt espresso. He was preparing for a period drama. She was choreographing stage movement for a modern dance mini-tour, renting the studio's mirrored wing during off hours. According to friends, they started talking because the only functioning coffee machine in the building sat exactly between their 2 rehearsal rooms. Most relationships do not begin with an exchange of deep philosophy. This one began with a shared complaint that the machine served lukewarm Americanos. Within a month, they were inseparable. And by the end of that spring, fans had wrapped a portmanteau hashtag around their names, elevating them to couple goals status before they had walked even a single red carpet side by side. For several years, the pairing looked rock solid. They took their parents to the same family restaurant each Ramadan. They adopted to rescue dogs, tiny mixed breeds that liked to crawl under editing suites while Barış checked dailies. They even co-designed a line of silk scarves to raise money for an orphanage foundation. From the outside, it seemed they had found that elusive balance between creative careers and private life. So when Barış opened his social feed last week and wrote, "Love is a journey, and sometimes paths diverge," the shock felt genuine, not manufactured. The statement in detail. Barış's post lasted 9 sentences. He wrote that he and Gülüm had shared beautiful moments, but that his heart has found a new direction. He asked fans to avoid hostility, emphasized his respect for Gülüm's artistry, and disabled comments. Within 20 minutes, screenshots populated every gossip site. Newsrooms dispatched reporters to gather reactions from set workers, stylists, gym instructors, anyone who could provide context or, better yet, salacious detail. Yet the real intrigue came not from dirt digging, but from what Barış chose not to write. He did not mention the length of the separation discussions, nor whether a third person had already entered his life, nor whether professional obligations with Gülüm would be affected. Ambiguity became lighter fluid. Speculation provided the match. Timeline of tension. While the public saw only an abrupt break, insiders traced warning signs back nearly a year. Last summer, Barış shot back-to-back projects in Gaziantep and Cappadocia. Crew members recall Gülüm visiting set only once, staying 48 hours, then flying back to Istanbul to finish an installation for a gallery opening. It was the first time the pair spent 2 continuous months apart. Autumn Film Festival circuit. They arrived on the same flight to Antalya, but spent press day working opposite ends of the carpet. Observers chalked it up to scheduling, yet seasoned photographers sensed tension in how they posed. No intertwined fingers, no whispered asides. January charity gala. For the first time, they declined a co-chair invitation, citing overlapping rehearsals. But sources confirm both schedules could have been rearranged. None of these data points prove trouble on their own, yet together they sketch a pattern of increasing distance. Enter the rumored someone else. Industry whispers now attach one name to that new direction: Yağmur Yüksel. The rising actress Barış met while guest directing a commercial last February. On-set witnesses described them as fast friends, dissecting storyboards during lunch and sharing playlists for character mood boards. At the time, nobody read romance into it. The commercial wrapped in 2 days, and everyone went home. Yet by April, Barry's began attending a weekly writer's circle downtown one Yagmer frequents when she's not on location. Mutual acquaintances insist they are simply creative collaborators, but paparazzi lenses captured them, leaving the same late-night poetry reading 3 weekends in a row. That alone does not confirm intimacy. Nonetheless, pattern recognition compels gossip sites to connect dots. A more significant clue emerged in Bariza's recent interview for a cultural magazine. Asked what inspires him most lately, he said, watching someone discover new facets of herself and daring me to keep up. He did not name that someone. Fans, however, cross-referenced the phrase with an older clip of Yagmer, describing her ideal partner as the kind of person who keeps pace while I reinvent. Such parallels may be coincidence or they might be breadcrumb trails a perceptive audience cannot resist following. Gülüm's silence and the career puzzle. While tabloids ran with romance theories, Gülüm deactivated comments on her last 3 posts. A rehearsal snapshot, studio time-lapse, and a monochrome selfie captioned reset. She has not issued a statement. She has, however, changed rehearsal venues, moving from the European side to a small Katy Kai loft. Dancers on her team say she is channeling personal upheaval into raw, urgent movement. Some outlets speculate she could turn that process into a documentary shortened approach that fits her pattern of translating emotional turbulence directly into art, rather than talk shows. Professionally, both still share contracts that predate the breakup. Most notably, a festival panel where they were to discuss actor-musician crossovers next month. Event organizers insist both are still confirmed, but whether they will sit on the same stage remains uncertain. Sponsors quietly prepare separate photo call schedules in case they arrive at different times. Fan reactions, fracture lines, and empathy. Social media split almost instantly. One cluster aligns behind #TeamGülüm, claiming creative women often get sidelined once their partners outturn them. Another champions Bariza's right to pursue happiness, emphasizing that relationships evolve. A surprisingly large neutral camp simply hopes the dog's yes. The rescue moots remain co-parented without drama. This dog-centric perspective went viral after a fan account posted a montage of the pets snoring on studio couches while Barış played guitar. The video closes with the text, "Humans fall out of love." Loyalty has 4 paws. Why the public cares. Part of the allure is the cultural weight given to celebrities who bear vulnerability. In a landscape saturated with polished brand campaigns, a short, heartfelt post feels intimate. But there is something more. Barış framed his announcement not as betrayal or regret, but as a philosophical acceptance that hearts shift direction. That nuance resonates with viewers navigating their own relationship uncertainties. It invites conversation about endings that are not villains versus heroes, simply people growing at different speeds. The road ahead. For Barış, insiders expect him to channel current emotions into a debut solo album. He has enough unreleased acoustic demos to populate an EP, and the timing post-breakup catharsis could draw significant attention. For Gülüm, her dance piece, tentatively titled Unmoored, now carries extra narrative heft. If she chooses to weave personal breakup themes into choreography, festival programmers will compete for rights. For the rumored Yagmer connection, if romance is real, the team will likely maintain silence until a project launch creates a natural context to go public. If friendship only, Bariza's next statement may clarify boundaries to protect all parties. Closing thoughts. In the end, we cannot live Bariza's choices for him, nor can we dismiss the depth of Gülüm's silence. What we can do, and what I hope this channel always does, is look beyond clickbait contrasts to the layers, where real people wrestle with imperfect timing, shifting devotion, and the complicated beauty of admitting change. If Bariza's journey teaches anything, it is that honesty, however painful, clears space for whatever must come next. Thank you for traveling through this story with me. Which detail hit you hardest? the Night Owl Writer's Circle, the dogs in the studio, or the philosophical tone of Barish's confession? Let me know below. I read every comment. Please like and subscribe if this deep dive style interests you. Until our next video, stay kind to one another, keep your art honest, and remember, sometimes the courage to change direction tells the best story of all.